Hi friends, it's me again, Lady of the Rebeccas, with something I didn't intend to talk about for a little while. Um, so, as you might have surmised if you're already one of my prized subscribers, this channel is really most just a vlog about day-to-day challenges and stuff, and if I try to figure out if I have any potential to develop a voice. It's clumsy, it's weird, it's not that scripted. It's not scripted at all. But I've sort of planned to eventually talk about some topics, just to kind of, move things forward and evolve. And one of the topics that was on my brain a little bit was transphobia. One of my weird quandaries that some of my queer friends haven't gotten, that have come out some time ago in more scary times, is that when I kind of came out, I didn't experience much friction. I had a fear that kept me in the closet for decades. I saw what transphobia seemed to do to trans and queer people in general, and was just kind of like opted out unconsciously. And so when I did come out, and at least in my progressive neighborhood, outside of 5-year-olds and 6-year-old girls or something that were like kind of giving me the hairy eyeball and really a bit freaked out, there was a weird feeling of having emerged from an invisible place and coming to a new state of invisibility where people were just so polite, and it was almost like they were like parting before me before I could interact with them. People were often act like absolutely nothing was different, and I had to look down at myself and go, all right, yeah, okay, no, I'm presenting differently. And so it was oddly perturbing sometimes, and nobody seemed to get it. People assumed I was just an egomaniac, or not egomaniac, but some sort of egocentric narcissist that just like, hey, everybody look at me. And actually, I do respect that instinct. Frankly, like, I've been hiding my whole goddamn life, so yeah, look at me. Don't gawk at me, but you can look at me. But anyway, that's kind of besides the point. What I also didn't encounter, though, really was much transphobia. I got some hairy eyeballs from like a lady janitor in a washroom or something. I got misgendered somewhere, not intentionally. But, outside of that, again, not much direct engagement. So the sum total of that is you come out, you want like a little bit of friction to test your mettle a little bit. You want some justification, I did anyway, for having spent so much of my time underground. Because if it's not scary now, then what have I been doing my whole fucking life? So it was like a weird sensation of needing something to rub up against to maybe test my mettle or something. Anyways, so I was going to talk about this lack of transphobia, where it might come from. Maybe mention that you can see it out in the world of Twitter and in Facebook groups with strangers engaging with each other. But, my voice is going lower. Come on up. So, but that, and there's sort of the day-to-day personal, not so much. Well, lo and behold, I got myself another TERF. I say another TERF because I think my sister is a TERF. We remain estranged. She's just not a very sophisticated TERF. She's got some of the talking points for sure, to the point where I wonder if she's gone through some sort of conversion therapy or something due to her own gender past issues. But she's just a bit of a clumsier orator, and is kind of too obsessed with alien abductions to devote her full attention to transphobia. So, woohoo! So, anyways, but we're not even on speaking terms. So, but a kind of legit trans aggression, like from a TERF. So, here it was kind of evolving, and so here I was, as I said, I kind of was like, all right, I think I'm ready to test my mettle a little bit. I almost need some transphobia or something to engage with. And it came from a place I did not expect it. So it came from a queer, bi-identifying woman from my past, more or less. I was actually super close in my late teens and early 20s with her husband. But I've known her for 15 years. As her husband gradually retreated from my life, he's a bit of a hermit, misanthrope, or so I thought. I maintained kind of like a friendly contact with his wife. So much so that last year over Instagram, she was mentioning she kind of saw me getting a little more queer in the public eye. I was not yet out. She was mentioning how she's bi. And I said, well, I'm transitioning. And, wow, like you knew a little bit about me before. Your husband was around in the 90s when I thought I was just a cross-dresser. And hey, this is really I'm coming full circle. I'm finally embracing the rest of it. And she seemed good. She was supportive. I had some intermittent contact. And then, so that was like last October. Flip over into 2020, beginning of January, and I start to formally come out and go full time. And she was absent from that, admittedly not on Facebook, so that's where a lot of the kind of social coming out en masse transpired. So, absent from that, but I thought all was good. I thought I had just yet another friendly person in the sidelines. And flash forward, I guess, so end of July, so 8 months after I first had my initial personalized worm coming out story, and so I share something about TERF talking points. Now, maybe this is a good time to pause now. What is a TERF, right? It's a term coined, I think, around 2008. You can Wikipedia it if you really want to read all about it, but it stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. Basically, it's a women's rights-centered feminism that excludes trans women. They don't like trans women at all. They see us as interlopers, as people who just couldn't hack it as men, and who kind of last minute decided, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go into the women's space and dominate or something. I don't know. Some people think, I've read about ex-TERFs that just don't have good self-images of themselves, but they feel they're part of an oppressed class called woman, and I would freaking agree. And so they pick on a more oppressed class called trans women. We are we have willingly put ourselves in, a space that we get to fend off the queerphobes and the misogynists, and yet somehow we're seen as oppressors, interlopers. Maybe we're replacing them in their biological purity. I don't know. So TERFs, they like each other. They sometimes can sound like pretty approachable people. I've listened to a few toxic podcasts where that's kind of horrifying stuff. But anyways, they see no wrong with what they're doing, it seems, but they know it's a bad look. So it'll be hard for them sometimes to fully come out and just go, yeah, I'm a TERF, or a rad femme, or gender critical, or whatever. But they all mean the same thing. Anyways, okay, so here I am, an Instagram story, and I post a critical comic about TERF talking points, and from my Instagram emerges my former friend, and says, well, what are some of the counterpoints? And I start to go, oh, well, this is what we usually typically counter to this TERF point, X, Y, Z. And she starts to rebut my counterpoints and starts saying, gender is just a social construct, and that deserves to be abolished. It's not important. And she starts kind of speaking for TERFs, and I start to get a chill, like a pretty severe chill. And my wife is looking at me, and I'm suddenly typing a whole lot, and it's really important for me to have a rejoinder right away. And so I eventually go, getting the sense that you have some empathy for TERFs. And And, a few minutes tick by, and she says, oh, yeah, empathy for women that need to define womanhood for themselves and stuff. And I was like, oh, God, no, no. So I poke at it a little bit. You kind of know that you're not going to change anyone's mind. I'm not some master debater. But I was like, what about? And it starts to get more viciously countered. And so I mostly just engaged to just find out more, just to be 100% sure that I had a TERF that was taking time out of her day, a former friend, to really kind of aggravate and undermine me. So I tried reminding her about our friendship, and I said, what about our... And she just diminished the hell out of that. Happened to mention, and so my former childhood friend, her husband, is also a big TERF. Or, well, she considers him a TERF ally, because apparently men can't be feminists, only allies. So, semantics, whatever. Anyways, yeah. So she starts diminishing whatever friendship I thought we had, suggested I was merely being validated by a woman who I thought was supportive. So, wow, way to undermine. I thought you were my friend. Oh my God. It was so horrible. She picked at my femininity, of course. Said I seem to enjoy stereotypical things like makeup and feminine clothing. I didn't know there was something wrong with femininity. So, feminine clothing. I'm a trans woman. What else am I going to use to just kind of make it through a day and not have people call me sir? So, this is a thing I need to do. And you know it. Sorry, I'm speaking as if the TERF is watching, so I don't know. But this is just me getting it out, exercising some of these things. I'm not actually meant to argue point by point. Again, I just really needed to know because I was like, I guess there's a block headed in my future. So, and I kept a little bit of my personal wits about me, I think. Because even if she argued me into the ground or I was tongue-tied or something like that, I could go back to, say, Julia Serrano's Whipping Girl. Very important trans feminist text. All last year I listened to the audiobook while I was trying to bide my time and go, am I really trans? What am I risking? And so I was just casting my net wide to read different things. And I absorbed a ton of Serrano's text, and it's a pretty amazing stuff. So I kind of knew that even if this TERF shook me to my very foundations, I could probably go back to the book. And one thing the book did really help me develop was just recognizing all her talking points. They deviated very little. They were delivered with a certain slickness, almost like I thought, do you have another TERF right next to you that is kind of helping feed you some of this? Because there was some delays with our immediate communication. But anyway, I was still chilled to the bone by what was happening real time from a former friend and her TERF husband as well, who was like a childhood friend who knows me. He may not like me anymore, but does he really see me as some kind of gendered interloper as well? I have only been like a goofy person in his life. Irritating, apparently, because he's gradually squeezed me out, but a threat to what? I don't know. So heartbreaking, and just the kind of about face of support. The idea that there's been a TERF in the ranks of who I thought were my friends for so long as well is really chilling as well. It is. So yeah, anyways, I surmised that, okay, you're a TERF. I gave her the last word. I said, you can have the last word. I'm going to block you now, but go ahead. Tell me what you got. And, you know, but like, and so like one of the things that I had been mentally thinking about, what would I really tell a TERF if I was confronted with one? Because again, I'm not a master debater. And I'm sure I would just get so intimidated and clam up, and they would think they won and whatever else. So I've been kind of thinking ahead, like, and I delivered in texting form. I don't know if it got through, if it really was all that good a point, but I said, you could argue me till my head spins until I go, oh, I guess you're right, and I'll just go home in defeat or something. But I know I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm still going to be me. I have to be this way. So, human rights are on my side. I hope they remain that way. I know you don't, if you're watching. But I have to be this way, and I am not a threat. So, oh God. Symbolically, though, apparently I'm a threat. Boo. Boo. Anyways. Yeah, I'm just like, regardless of what she thinks, I'm going to wake up tomorrow as myself and needing to be this way. But hey, no worries. She wished me love and peace. Like, totally this, like, parting words that were exactly like J.K. Rowling's opening salvo of transphobia when people were really starting to see that the mask was off. And yeah, if you wish me peace and love, and I deserve that and happiness, like, why did you bother me in the first place? Like, you could have just exited my life instead of trying to put me in my place. So, I sure hope you're gone now. Okay? Like, ugh. Because it's been upsetting. Again, the friend thing. It's made me a little bit paranoid about who else might be around. So, it's fucking gross. It's gross. So, stay away forever if you're watching. So, don't love you. But anyways, the rest of you, thanks for watching. I think that's kind of like the end of my thoughts. So, a goddamn fucking chilling turn these past few days. I've been processing just the kind of sense of betrayal and the holy crap retroactively lost years. So I don't think these people were always monsters. It probably wasn't on their radar until possibly they met somebody who cared a whole lot about denigrating trans women. It's too bad. We're nice people. We're allies to cis women. And, I don't think you can stop me from becoming the woman I need to be. So I'm making my own destiny. And I think that's kind of fucking feminist, okay? So you don't get a say. And I'm not sorry. I'm really not sorry. I have a lot of people who love and support me and will continue to do so, and my life is a lot better. So apparently the right feeling to have is pity. I don't know. So anyways, again, friends, supporters, all 12 subscribers, thanks for watching, and I hope I have a less volatile entry next time. So, and hope your week has been good too. Alrighty, bye. Love to most people and my amazing queers and cis people, in straight people, everybody in my life. Bye.